Hey, so here we are on another Flax and Fiber Friday. I am finishing up, I'm almost done with my other long band that I am working on that I am in love with, and I'm getting close to the end. So I am just going to do some of this. I guess I should probably fast forward it at this point. So I guess that's what I will do. And then I will come back when it's done and show you how much of this that I have finished up. And then I will move on to wool that I got from Lithuania, and I will provide the link to her store. And I'm real happy with it so far. I don't know how many yards I have. I have to measure that out. But I will go ahead and fast forward through this. Okay, here I am back. And I always love when I wind a shuttle, and I don't really count how many I'm doing, but I did pretty good on estimating how much yarn I was going to use. So I'm just going to cut that off. A note on my loom. This is one I designed. I offer the plans up for it, and I am going to probably make a few and sell them, and maybe even in different sizes. Uh, but I'm asking that if you figure out what it is I did and how I made it, go ahead and try it. That's what I would do. But yeah, this is my living, so I would like to think that people wouldn't just take advantage of the design they see and start making and selling or something. So I am going to cut off all my weights, and I hate wasting any yarn, so I don't even know what I'm going to do with some of this. And I don't know why some were longer than others, even though I used my warping board to measure them all. I would think that some would be tighter because of twist or get shorter, but I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me. Okay, so it's all done. And I will take my cards out of there, get my weights out of the way, and I will clean up that yarn later when I feel like it. And I don't know how long this is. I was kind of limited by the amount of the maroon thread yarn that I had. So I made it as long as I could to ensure that I had enough of the maroon for the design. So I guess my rug will be determined by how long these are. And I'm still toying with how to actually sew the border on so that it isn't completely folded under, because this much yarn is pretty thick. So that's going to be a challenge. So there's all my cards all done. Put that back in place so I don't lose anything, and so the dog doesn't chew them. Okay. Ugh. So, looks like I have, I'm going to estimate about 4 feet. So, we shall see. I will come back with my table loom and my yarn from Lithuania and start warping that up once I get these measurements straightened out. So I'm in love with the feel of this. I just love it. Okay, so I will be back next time with the other loom. Okay, I am back, and I warped my loom. I have a 6-dent reed for this cotton that I have, and it's a weaving cotton that I got from a local weaving store, so I like that. And I've used up almost all of the reed. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, nope, 3 spots. 3 slots I didn't get. And so I started it up. I'm really loving this yarn. So it is wool, and supposedly from local farms in Lithuania. So I liked that as opposed to China. I have to play around with dyeing because I don't think I'm going to have the right color to go with my band that I wove. And the dog is barking. So, hey, enough, enough, enough. I know somebody's here. I also have a, I'm going to put that on pause for a minute until that dog is quiet. Okay, he was quiet as soon as I turned it off. So let's see if he stays quiet. In my collection of shuttles that somebody had given me like 20 years ago, I found this one, which is supposed to be good for rag rugs. So it's got a dowel that runs through there and there. And I'm hoping that it will hold enough to do this. I've warped this up to do 2 rugs that are 24 inches long. And I think I have way more than enough wool, which is good because I bought 5 orders. They were 100 grams each, and about, what is it? I think it was 23 or 24 yards in that weight, and it's 4-ply, and I'm super excited for it to see the results. But I have to advance because I was already at the end of that. I can only do so many runs with this bobbin because it's so thick, and because, you know, how much room do I have on my table loom, right? Not a whole lot. So probably did that too much. We'll see if it works. So double tap, and now that I'm at this point, right, it's like goes a lot quicker, especially with a good fat yarn. So I'm excited about that. I'm thinking of maybe seeing if I can get the Navajo tea plant to dye. I think the problem is going to be that the warp is cotton and the weft is wool. So I experimented with a little bit of wool and the cotton in onion skins, and the cotton came out a good color that I think would match my band, but it was, it almost was turning a chartreuse green because the wool is kind of on the wool because this wool is sort of a sandy color with some darkish gray flecks in it. So I don't know if I'm going to have to go ahead and find a acid dye. Of course, I don't have the color that I would want. So we shall see. So I will continue doing this. I'm getting lost. Okay, there we go. And come back when it is all done, and then I'm ready to take it off the loom, and then I will show you. I don't think you need a fast forward of me weaving, because for one thing it's just the same color, so not like any exciting changes or anything like that. I'm also excited to see how this is going to turn out once I wash it. I'll wash it in cold water in my washing machine and see if it fluffs up nice, which is what I'm hoping for. And it feels about the same thickness as the band, so I'm excited about that too. So on this snowy, snowy day, we got probably almost a foot last night, I will just continue on my weaving. Alright, so I decided to come back. For one of these filled, it looks like I probably did almost 14 inches. So I'm going to pull this apart, and I'm guessing how to do this based on something I think I saw online. One of the good things about wool is it works well with twisting on itself. And if I wet it and do each one of the strands, each one of the plies, then maybe that will work, or maybe it won't. So I figured I'll just show you once again possible mistakes, because that's what I do. Alright, so I'm going to twist, get it wet, lick my fingers, and see if that works at all. It's not working. The wool is not wanting to spin around on itself. So I'm feeling very uncoordinated as per usual. And maybe if I'm just careful, and I don't know that that's going to work. So see if it's even twisting the same way. It is not twisting the same way. So that, yeah, that's not going to work. So I'm going to do what I would have done otherwise, and since I cut it staggered, nope, see, my brain's not functioning well lately. So I am just going to tuck that in that way, pull it out a bit where I can trim it, and because it's wool, once I wash it, it will probably kind of felt on itself. So there you go, my experiment that didn't look like it was going to be working. Maybe I would just tuck those in instead of cutting them. And I'm hoping because it's felt, or I mean because it's wool, it will do okay and felt a bit with the washing process. So we shall see. And what else was I thinking? Oh, I think with this I'm only getting like maybe 6 or 7 passes, because this yarn, once it's woven, the weft measures 3 passes per inch. So that's a good amount that goes pretty quick, which is always fun because it takes so long to warp a loom up and such. Hopefully that didn't destroy my angle. No, it did not. Okay. Yeah, see, it's already getting tight again. Okay, so now I will come back when I'm done. And I will see you then. Okay, I am back. I'm trying to get a good shot with good lighting, and it wants to keep changing. So this is my rug that I dyed with rit wine and yellow, and it didn't get an orange enough hue to it, and it's not even a bright red. So yeah, you can see kind of there where, yeah, I don't like how it looks. So I think I will save that rug and do a border specifically for that, or could make a nice mat on a counter or something, or a table, because it's kind of like a super large placemat size. So what I am trying to do with the other rug that I did is, what did I start with? I can't even remember. I'm getting so lost trying to come up with the right colors. This was a bunch of, if I can get it out, onion skins, and then what I believe was chamisa dye that I had in the freezer. I just defrosted a bunch, and I think so far that's been like simmering for a couple of hours. I like how that color, even though it doesn't match the yellow and the orange, it's kind of two-tone, so I think I like that blend a lot better. I love wine color, I love burgundy, but it was just clashing with it. It wasn't, I don't know, something's wrong. So I'm going to continue to dye that. Obviously, this will not be, I will not be sewing and completing all this today, so this is going to be the end of this video, and then I will finish it up next week. And then I wanted to show you what I did here, because it's so thick, and I didn't want the ends to fray. So what I did was I marked a 45-degree angle with a Sharpie, and then zigzagged it on my machine and then cut it. And I think that's going to work. And then I will hand stitch the mitered corners. And I think I'm going to do a thin band out of the thread, pearl cotton that I have, to kind of combine the edges. I don't know how to explain that. Let's see. Look at this. So when I have, there we go, make a band and stitch it down on top of wherever I've sewed the mitered edges. And I think that will look cool. So I will put a link in for this particular pattern that I found, I think, on Pinterest, and also a link for, God, my camera's just totally changing the colors wherever I move. Okay, anyways, I'll stop getting distracted. And also a link for where I got that wool from Lithuania, because it was relatively inexpensive, and I really like it a lot. So, okay, thanks for stopping by, and I will see you next week with a video on the finishing process.